If a boat has survived 30 or 40 years and it's still running, what does that actually tell you? It tells you the boat was built right the first time. Most buyers walk the docks looking for the newest hull, the biggest name, the model with a marketing budget behind it. In doing so, they walk right past boats that have already proven, decade after decade, exactly what they're capable of. Of course, no boat runs forever without proper maintenance. What these 5 have earned is a reputation for staying reliable when properly maintained. A reputation built by thousands of owners over decades of real-world use rather than a single, well-funded advertising campaign. Welcome back to Boat Hunter. Today we're counting down 5 dirt-cheap motor yachts that most buyers walk right past, and by the end, you'll understand why that's their loss and could be your gain. Let's get into it. Number 5. Carver 355 Aft Cabin. Carver introduced the 355 during a period when the company was expanding beyond simpler cruisers into genuinely serious aft cabin motor yachts. The target buyer wanted true separation between an owner's stateroom and a guest cabin, something that usually required stepping up into a much larger, pricier boat. Carver built that layout into a hull specifically designed to carry it, and the 355 became popular among buyers who wanted a larger motor yacht feel without the corresponding price tag, consistently offering more usable interior volume per dollar than boats carrying more recognizable names. Buyers often dismiss this yacht before they've even clicked into the listing, simply because the Carver name has developed a reputation for being ordinary rather than aspirational. Carver never had the marketing muscle of some competitors, so the badge carries less prestige, even though the boat underneath tells a completely different story than the name suggests. Carver built the 355 with durability ahead of marketing appeal. The hull layup is substantial, without the corner cutting that sometimes creeps into boats built purely to hit an aggressive price point. And these hulls have earned a reputation for genuine longevity when they've received consistent maintenance rather than being pushed hard and neglected. Step inside, and the layout is where this boat genuinely earns its spot on today's list. The aft cabin gives you a real, separate owner's stateroom, not a curtained-off corner of the salon, with its own head and genuine privacy from anyone sleeping forward. For a retired couple planning to spend weeks or months aboard, that separation matters more than many people expect. You can wake up before your partner, make coffee, and move through your morning without disturbing anyone else. Many Carver owners have described spending entire summers aboard at their local marina, treating the boat less like a weekend toy and more like a seasonal second home. The salon feels considerably larger than the hull length suggests, thanks to generous window area that floods the space with natural light, and the galley handles genuine meal preparation. A real stove, a full-size refrigerator on many examples, enough counter space to cook a proper dinner rather than simply reheat something from a cooler. This is a coastal and protected water cruiser at heart, well suited to extended trips along the coast, through the intracoastal, or portions of the Great Loop, rather than serious offshore passage making. Power typically comes from twin gas or diesel engines, depending on the specific model year, and mechanics who've spent time around these boats consistently describe the systems as straightforward to diagnose and service, without the exotic complexity that turns a simple repair into a multi-day project. Before making an offer, have a surveyor look closely at the transom and swim platform for signs of water intrusion. Check the aft cabin bilge for evidence of past flooding, and inspect the upholstery and cabinetry hardware, since many examples on the market show their age cosmetically, even when the mechanical systems remain excellent. That's exactly the kind of boat-savvy buyers hope everyone else keeps ignoring. And if genuine aft cabin privacy matters to you, our next boat takes a very different approach to comfort, built specifically for anglers who also wanted a real cruising boat. Number 4. Silverton 34 Convertible. Silverton built the 34 for a buyer who wanted one boat capable of 2 very different jobs: serious offshore fishing and comfortable overnight cruising, without forcing a compromise on either priority. Introduced during an era when convertible sport fishers were becoming increasingly specialized and increasingly expensive, Silverton positioned the 34 as the accessible alternative, a boat that could genuinely fish hard on a Saturday morning and comfortably host a family for a weekend away. Enormously popular among weekend anglers who weren't chasing tournament trophies. Mention a Silverton at a yacht club, and you'll probably hear someone call it a starter boat, a stepping stone towards something more serious. Spend time talking to owners who've actually kept one for a decade, and you'll hear a completely different story, one about a boat that simply kept running long after they expected to have traded it in for something bigger and shinier. That starter boat reputation keeps prices low, even though plenty of these boats have logged more offshore miles than yachts costing 3 times as much. One reason these boats have aged so well is their straightforward fiberglass construction. Real layup, dependable systems, and a cockpit sole and transom built with real fishing conditions in mind rather than bolted on as an afterthought. The cockpit itself is genuinely functional for anglers, with rod holders positioned sensibly, a transom door for landing larger fish without a struggle, and a sole that actually drains properly rather than pooling water after every wave. Below deck, the salon avoids the cramped feeling that plagues some boats this size, largely because the designers prioritized efficient use of limited space over cramming in every conceivable amenity. A dinette converts to additional sleeping space for grandkids visiting for a weekend, and the head, while compact, functions properly without requiring contortion. For a retired couple who still wants to fish seriously while also having somewhere comfortable to overnight, this layout genuinely serves both purposes, rather than compromising either one. Twin engines run considerably faster than the trawler-style boats retirees often consider, which matters for anyone who values covering distance quickly or getting offshore and back within a single day, and they provide the redundancy and maneuverability that make docking considerably less stressful. If one engine develops an issue offshore, the other gets you home. Practical insurance that matters enormously for anyone running beyond sight of land. Mechanics appreciate the straightforward engine room layout, and parts availability remains solid given how many of these boats were built. Before buying, have a surveyor pay particular attention to the transom and cockpit sole for stress cracking from years of fishing use, and review engine maintenance records carefully given how many of these boats saw genuinely demanding offshore duty rather than gentle weekend cruising. The Silverton earned a particularly loyal following among East Coast anglers who wanted genuine fishing capability without paying true sport fish prices, and that community still trades stories about boats that have logged remarkable offshore mileage decades after leaving the factory. Sometimes the best value isn't hidden because it's flawed. It's hidden because fashions change, and fishing convertibles simply aren't the trend they once were. If you're enjoying this countdown, take a second to like the video, subscribe to Boat Hunter, and turn on notifications. We create videos like this regularly to help buyers find real value in the used motor yacht market that most people overlook entirely. Number 3. Bayliner 3288 Motor Yacht. Bayliner introduced the 3288 as part of a broader push into the command bridge segment, a category of boat that placed the primary helm inside a raised, enclosed structure rather than on an open flybridge. The target buyer wanted genuine motor yacht comfort and weather protection at the helm, without paying the premium that brands like Sea Ray or Carver commanded for a similar layout, and it became genuinely popular among buyers who wanted to step up from a simple cruiser into something that felt like a real yacht, without the corresponding price jump. Most shoppers today scroll right past Bayliner in a search filter before they've even looked at a single photo. The name carries a budget reputation earned by decades of producing enormous numbers of entry-level boats across every price point, and that broad reputation unfairly follows the 3288, even though it represents a genuinely more serious tier of the brand's lineup. Construction on the command bridge models is more substantial than Bayliner's smaller runabouts, with a hull and superstructure genuinely engineered to support the raised bridge structure without excessive flex, and these hulls have proven durable over decades provided owners kept up with routine maintenance. The biggest advantage of this model is its command bridge layout. Because the primary helm sits inside its own dedicated, weather-protected space. The salon below is freed to function purely as living space, rather than needing to accommodate a lower helm station as well. That single design decision changes the entire character of the interior, giving owners a salon that genuinely feels like a small living room rather than a shared space compromised by navigation equipment. The interior includes a genuine stateroom separate from the salon, and a head that handles real daily use rather than functioning as an afterthought. The 3288 has become a familiar sight among Great Loop cruisers, specifically owners who wanted genuine motor yacht comfort for extended, months-long travel without the price tag of a purpose-built trawler. The enclosed helm provides a real comfort advantage on a cool morning or when weather turns unexpectedly, something an open flybridge simply cannot offer. Twin gas engines are common on this model, and mechanics appreciate their straightforward accessibility and the widespread familiarity that comes from an engine platform used across countless boats. Parts availability remains excellent, and longtime owners frequently mention that the boat has simply never given them a reason to complain, a quiet but meaningful endorsement after years of ownership. Before buying, have a surveyor check the command bridge structure carefully for any signs of stress or water intrusion around the mounting points, and verify that all electronics and navigation equipment are functioning, since updated systems vary considerably from boat to boat depending on the previous owner's investment. Once you understand what this boat offers, it's hard to look at the asking price the same way. And if that kind of hidden value has your attention, our next boat takes the concept even further, genuinely competing with names that cost considerably more. Number 2. Cruisers Yachts 3650 Motor Yacht. Cruisers Yachts introduced the 3650 as part of the company's push-up market, an attempt to compete directly with more established motor yacht builders by matching their interior finish quality at a noticeably lower price point. The target buyer wanted genuine yacht-level comfort and craftsmanship without paying for the brand recognition that competitors had spent decades building, and the model became popular specifically among buyers who did careful side-by-side comparisons rather than simply defaulting to a familiar name. Ask a broker about Cruisers Yachts, and plenty will mention the brand's smaller weekend boats first, the compact bowriders and cuddy cabins that made up much of the company's volume. Spend time talking to an owner who's actually lived aboard a 3650, and you'll hear a completely different conversation. One about genuine motor yacht comfort at a fraction of the expected price. The kind of conversation that ends with the owner asking why more people don't know about this boat. The interior finish rivals boats costing considerably more, genuine wood joinery rather than laminate approximations, and a salon that feels finished rather than merely functional. Where the Bayliner and Carver rely on straightforward, honest cabinetry, the Cruisers Yachts genuinely competes with boats a full-price tier above it. The master stateroom typically includes a proper walk-around berth, genuine storage, and an ensuite head that handles daily use comfortably rather than requiring guests to share facilities constantly. A separate guest cabin gives visiting family or friends their own dedicated space, an underrated feature that becomes considerably more important the longer any given trip stretches, particularly for retirees planning to host grandchildren for extended visits. The galley provides real counter space and equipment for serious cooking, not simply reheating something prepared ashore, and for a couple planning extended weekends or week-long trips. That galley removes a genuine source of daily friction that smaller, more compromised boats simply cannot avoid. Twin engines give the boat genuine performance that lets it comfortably keep pace with faster company on the water. And engine hours on well-maintained examples often run lower than the boat's age would suggest. Evidence of owners who used these boats carefully and kept up with maintenance consistently over the decades, rather than running them hard and deferring service. Mechanics generally find the engine room reasonably accessible, though it does require some care to navigate comfortably during routine maintenance. Before buying, have a surveyor pay close attention to the twin engine maintenance history specifically, since the added complexity of two engines means deferred maintenance compounds faster than on a single-engine boat, and request documentation on generator hours and air conditioning system service if the boat has spent time in warmer climates. It's one of those boats that quietly earns your respect the longer you own it. And after covering 4 boats that reward buyers willing to look past reputation, Our final pick takes that idea in an entirely unexpected direction. So we've covered proven aft cabin comfort, dependable coastal capability, thoughtful command bridge design, and real motor yacht finish, all at prices that don't add up given what you're actually getting. What could possibly earn the top spot on a list built entirely around boats nobody buys? Number 1. Sea Ray 390 Motor Yacht. At first glance, this choice might seem surprising. Sea Ray is one of the best-known names in boating. But this isn't about the brand. It's about one specific model that buyers consistently overlook while chasing newer Sea Rays instead. By the time the 390 arrived, Sea Ray had already earned a reputation for building yachts that felt more expensive than they were, and the target buyer wanted genuine, proven motor yacht quality without stepping into the largest and most expensive models in the lineup. A significant number of these boats were produced during a period when Sea Ray was investing heavily in build quality across its entire motor yacht line, and that steady, methodical reputation, combined with a model that buyers now overlook in favor of newer options with bigger numbers on the transom, is exactly why loyal owners have quietly held onto them for years, rather than trading up the moment something newer arrived on the market. The hull layup is substantial, and these boats have earned a well-documented reputation for structural longevity, with plenty of examples still cruising confidently decades after leaving the factory floor. The layout includes a genuine master stateroom, a separate guest cabin, and a salon large enough for real entertaining rather than simply passing through on the way to somewhere else. Picture hosting friends aboard for an evening, the salon comfortably accommodating a group without anyone feeling like they're underfoot, the galley close enough to keep the conversation going while drinks and food come together. Headroom throughout is generous, and the galley, while proportioned appropriately for a boat this size, handles real cooking rather than just reheating, a full-size refrigerator, adequate counter space, and storage sized for actual provisioning that makes extended trips genuinely comfortable rather than an exercise in constant compromise. The flybridge, where equipped, offers a genuinely enjoyable open-air helm option, transforming ordinary cruising into something that feels like a real occasion rather than simply transportation from one point to another. This is a capable coastal cruiser, well-suited to extended trips and significant portions of the Great Loop. Parts availability remains excellent, given how widely distributed these boats were, meaning a qualified mechanic is rarely hard to find wherever your travels take you. Longtime Sea Ray 390 owners consistently describe a boat that simply does what's asked of it, without demanding constant attention, a quality that becomes considerably more valuable the longer you actually live with a boat, rather than just admire it at the dock. Before buying, have a surveyor pay careful attention to overall condition given how many examples on the market are decades old. Verify maintenance history on both engines and the generator, and inspect the flybridge structure and canvas enclosure closely if the boat has spent significant time exposed to sun and salt. Compared with the cruiser's yachts, it's a touch less refined inside. Compared with the Carver, it offers considerably more length and volume. Compared with the Bayliner, it carries a stronger name and better resale support. But when you put price, build quality, reliability, and long-term ownership together, nothing else on this list delivers quite as much value for the money. When people talk about buying a motor yacht they'll never need to replace, this is exactly the kind of boat they're talking about. Remember the question we started with. If a boat has survived 30 or 40 years and it's still earning the trust of its owners today, that's usually telling you something. It was built right the first time. Every boat on today's list shares the same story. Solid construction, trusted engines, real onboard comfort, at prices that only make sense once you understand why nobody's bidding against you for them. That's not a coincidence. It's a gap in the market that rewards buyers willing to do a little homework instead of chasing the same handful of famous names everyone else is fighting over. Sometimes the smartest boat in the marina isn't the one everyone recognizes. It's the one everyone overlooked. Which of these 5 would you actually buy? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to Boat Hunter, and turn on notifications so you never miss another honest boat review or buying guide. Thanks for watching Boat Hunter. I'll see you in the next one.